Hello, gentle viewers. This is Guardian, welcoming you back to Out of the Park Baseball 26 with the Chicago White Sox. My volume's a tiny bit high. Let me turn that down a notch. There we go. That seems like it's a little bit better. Welcome back. In our last episode, we went through another off season, and it was a busy one. We've taken quite a few steps to remake our team. We acquired Mr. Jose Ramos. A free agent signing. We spent a fair bit of money on him. Was he worth it? I'm not so sure, but it's worth the chance anyway. He does look like he could be a good one. He's got some nice skills. He's a pretty good defender. And he's been productive in the past. He hasn't gotten a ton of opportunities at the major league level, but maybe that's all he's looking for to be a high quality player. We also have Mr. Atsuji Ito shifting over to second base. We're going to try it out. We're going to see how it goes. Chase Bedroth over to third. And the rest of the team is pretty similar. We're going to get a full season of Yorger Bautista. I think he acquitted himself quite well in his Major League debut last year, and now it's his time for him to build on that and show that he can hang with the rest of us. Pitching staff, we have new arm Luke Geske. He's our most important rookie this year, I think we could say. 18th round draft pick made the major leagues. That's pretty amazing. Bullpen has had some new players as well. Jose Ferrer we picked up as a free agent. We've got him for the next 3 years. He's a pretty good pitcher. He's pretty good. Nick Altermat is getting his major league opportunity. We've had him for a bit. Now he's getting a chance to pitch in the majors. Anna's back. Nard is back. Rosado is back. Jean Cabrera is back. They're all back. Reputation isn't great. I feel like I'm being unnecessarily victimized by circumstance, but I guess it's not totally unreasonable, right? The real story this season is going to be Jaden Charles. We need to keep a very close eye on him. He's dominated in A-ball. I wanted to give him a real challenge, or putting him in Double A. If he develops the way that I think he might, then he could be in the major leagues before the All-Star break. Because, and I say this as kindly as possible, there's one irreplaceable starter in this rotation, which is Noah Schultz, who keeps getting better each year. And there's even more to go here, so like that for us. Sandoval's fine, Geske's fine, Smith still has some upside, maybe he'll hit it, maybe he won't. Iriarte is fine. There's a lot of fine here, but there's not a lot of greatness. That being said, it's most important that we get a consistent, productive lineup. If we get a top-tier lineup, everything else will fall into place. Everything else. So that's what we're going to be about in this episode. We're going to be trying to see what we've got coming to us. I need to put some people on the 40-man. That's fine. Who is the person? Oh, yes, Juan Brito. Good point. He's it. Ookie. We got some guys who DFA'd. Oh, Isaac Pretis got returned to us. That's good to know. That's good to know. What do we do with him? I feel like he still has something to offer, even at his advanced age. He is a right-handed bat. There's a world where we keep him on the roster, actually. Probably over Ramsell Medina. Maybe. He's so far away from genuinely being ready for the big leagues, and I think... So one of our issues with his current lineup is it's very left-handed. And Jace Young is nothing special against left-handed pitching. I think Mr. Pretis could be a pretty nice addition. I think we go ahead and we return Medina. Add Paredes, and Paredes is going to instantly slot in as our first baseman against left-handed pitching. There we go. Probably don't need to be playing Brito. But we'll give him a shot, I guess. Let's go ahead and advance some time. Let's see how things go now. Well, we lost to the Cubs on our first game. Not that it matters, it's one game, who cares? Was it close? Did Noah Schultz have a good game? I think that's something I'm very interested in seeing. Hagen Smith adding velocity isn't a bad thing. It's probably not great, but it's not a bad thing. I say it's because if you have velocity, you tend to lose control, and control is his big issue, right? That's what he is mostly suffering from, so we shall see what we can see. Alton Davis casually added a knuckle curve. That's pretty cool. Did Jaden Charles get any better? It doesn't look like it. Okay. I was going to check something. What just popped into my head? Oh, right. How our first game went. Oh, we had 2 games. We lost one and won one. Noah Schultz got roughed up. Not a great start this season for him. Offense also wasn't there, so like a pretty poor start, all things considered. But the second game went quite a bit better. A nice little victory for us to feel good about ourselves, right? Man. Yeah, Patrick Sandoval throwing 6 scoreless innings is definitely a nice start. So, we have nothing to really evaluate yet. Let's zoom on down to May. I would like to make the postseason this year. I'm not saying it's a guarantee. I'm not saying it's going to be easy, and it may not even happen. But I would like to see some real progress, and I think that's part of that. Burrito's going to miss 1 to 2 weeks. I don't really want to put him on the IL. I think maybe we keep him around, even though he is injured. I know his back is stiff, and I feel bad for him. But I need him because he's my only real backup. So we're gonna keep on keeping on with him, and if he gets more seriously hurt, then we can replace him. Yeah, we're certainly not having an amazing season, but we are being competitive in most of our games, which is good. All right. People dropping a tiny bit. Not a huge shocker. Sterling Thompson got better. Mr. Tibbs keeps getting worse. That makes me sad. I want him to get better, not worse. Jacob Gonzalez, Abraham Nunez, Kyle Markovitz. It's good to see some players are really putting in the work to become much better versions of themselves. That's pretty exciting. Oh, this is probably damning with faint praise. It's still worth mentioning. A guy who's a 40 overall starting pitcher might actually get a chance to start in the major leagues for me. I mean, that's just the level of talent I currently have. I need to be realistic, right? I can't afford to throw anybody away unless I'm sure that I don't need them. That's rude as heck. This motherfucker. Rule 5 pick, casual throws a no-hitter. Man. Man. Okay. Damn. Noah Schultz turned around and had a no-hitter. Nice. Okay, 7 walks is a problem. That does concern me, but if he's throwing a no-hitter, that's exactly what you want from your ace, so I'm pretty happy about that. Alright, what's going on this year? Anything something really interesting happening. Varys is ice cold, so is Meadroth. Meadroth is more concerning. If he's not getting on base at a high level, I worry for our team. Ito looks great. Tibbs looks great. Veras is not great. We're still super early in the season, though, right? We're still ultra early. We don't want to get overly concerned about any single individual performance. Griffin Jax is just allowing gopher balls at a comically high rate. This is definitely something worth monitoring. I imagine it'll drop, and once it does, we'll be in good shape, but it is something to monitor. How do your peripherals look? The walks are problematic. The home runs are too, but the walks are really problematic. And you've basically got really good luck on batted balls. This all has to level out a bit. You're an ace. I want you to be pitching consistently like an ace would. Jaden Charles isn't obliterating Double-A, but he is pitching effectively, which is fantastic to see. Let's say he's hurt. Don't tell me he's hurt. Or he's just tired. Tired is fine. Tired is okay. There's nothing here that's worth getting too worked up about. Let's go ahead and sim another month and then see where we are. Like, we are in most games. And I think... I don't think you're part of the starting lineup. I mean, you're hitting pretty effectively this season. There is a small chance that you will get a bigger role. But I don't think you're a great... I don't think you're a good risk. I think there's too much risk involved in giving you a prominent place on our team. Losing McGill for 4 weeks isn't great. But it is a nice little audition for a reliever. Do I want Munoz or Clements? Or Clemente, my apologies. Mr. Clemente, I wasn't familiar with your game. I think you're probably an interesting choice. Although you are getting your head caved in AAA. I think just because of his age, being 29 already, I think promoting Munoz is a reasonable proposition. And he can just be middle reliever for now. I think is good. Alright. Let's keep going with our... Okay, Noah Schultz has pitched 3 consecutive seasons over 160 innings. We don't need to have him on a pitch count anymore. Just do you, boo. Yeah, your development risk is low. You're already 25. This is the year to turn it loose. This is the year to push yourself a bit and see what you might become. I think we are struggling to score runs consistently. I think that's been the biggest issue right now. We now have enough information to make some decisions here, and I think there's going to be a lot of people moving out. Geski's getting better. Munoz just got worse for some reason. I think Zavala's got nothing left to prove at the minor league level. I truly don't. Unless Starlin's having an incredible season, I think we probably send him to the minors. Alright. So, what do we got? Oh, Meadroth is out for an indeterminate amount of time. That's kind of poopy, but okay. Oh, right. Comments. I believe it was Jessica Ross who reminded me once again that blah 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 blah. That reminded me that you can force people to position in spring training. I did know that, but it is It is a good point. It's a good reminder, and I really need to be a little bit smarter about stuff like that. Um, Inside World 422 asked, "Can Caro play outfield?" We can check that really quickly. But he is long gone. For those of you who missed the last episode. No, he cannot. He cannot. He's doing okay with the Nationals. He's not playing very much. So, okay. Thank you, as always, for the commentary, the comments. It helps me decide what I'm going to prioritize in my next video, so I really appreciate that. Not a great year for most of our top prospects. Jaden Charles is killing it in Double-A. He's excelled at every level, which is exactly the kind of thing that would give us a real shot in the arm. But again, I don't want to risk him. I don't want to risk losing him by not pitching him, right? By playing him too much. Okay. Meadroth is a problem. We don't know how long he's going to be out. If he's out for an extended period of time, we'll probably think about replacing him. I just think he's problematic at this point. Ito is doing fine. He's handling himself at second base okay. That's a suspiciously high error rate. Let's look at fielding stats in the other screen. I just find it easier to boil it down. So where's Mr. Ito here? Okay. His range is okay. He's turned 33 double plays, which is pretty cool. He's being productive in that way. So his range is decent. That's what these numbers are telling me. He's not as good as he needs to be on the routine plays, right? And maybe that makes sense. He's DH for a year or two. He hasn't played second base in the majors before. No. But the rest of his numbers are actually decent. He seems to be struggling at the very edge of his range, which makes sense, right? Like, range isn't his... I mean, he's got an okay range, but he's not a genius at it. This spells a competent defender, and competent is fine. Artaga is playing brilliantly. Meadroth is struggling at third base. If I have a better third baseman, I think this is a good time to consider that move. I can't afford to get too attached to anybody, and Meadroth is just off to an ice-cold start. He is literally in frozen nitrogen right now. Wilfred Veras is struggling pretty significantly. That makes me sad. He gave us 2 good years of offense. I'm not going to give up on him this quickly, but it is a concern that he's off to such a cold start. Maybe shuffle around the lineup a little bit. Ramos is decent. Teal is decent. 7 through 9 are all pretty problematic. How is Bautista doing? He's okay. Only a single error is nice, and he is making the routine plays. He looks a little bit better than his zone rating. There you go. He's actually a pretty good center fielder. I think I'm pretty happy with that. The bat has to get better, but there's a lot to like with this particular skill set, and I think I don't have a good replacement for him. I think we just let him figure it out. For a young player who needs opportunities, we let him figure it out. Jace Young is a problem. Jace Young is a real problem. He has had so many opportunities to show that he can hang at the big league level, and he'll hit like a very tiny little blip where he's pretty effective, but I think we need to move on from him. I know he has very little value at this point. I understand that. But I just think... So let's look at his major league career, right? Just in the majors, he has had 1 season where he wasn't replacement level, which was last year. We made the right decision giving him another chance. He wasted it. he's gone. Somebody's gonna want something for Jace Young, and I'm gonna happily offer that to him. Um, Isaac Paredes also sucks. So we're gonna have to find a new first baseman, which is fine. Maybe Ryan Galaney here should get a chance. Maybe. It's not hard to find somebody who's a better hitter than Young. So let's trade him up. I will look for veterans too. If I can find the right veteran, I might take on a more accomplished bat. I'm not taking on a reliever. I refuse to do that. Eric Silva is ice cold. Any green hitters? Marcus Stroman has a lot going for him, except the fact he's being paid too much money for his age. It seems like mostly relievers that people are wanting to give up. What if, just for fun, I ask for hitters? Jaron Duran has a very minimal track record of success. I don't think he's a good fit. He's not far removed from me, one of the better players in the game, but he's very clearly dropped off. And given that I'm on the hook for 2 years, I don't think that interests me. I don't think that grabs my attention. Big Christmas, John Kenzie Noel, maybe. Eh. I'm looking for somebody that gets on base at a really good clip. That's what I'm looking for. Do you bring in Josh Naylor? Not really. Like, these are all guys that are better than Jace Young. That's not the question. The question is, can we find somebody who can be a reasonably good, consistent producer? But actually be Duran, and if that's the case, I'm going to try to get Boston to absorb some of his salary. Addison Barger is really good all around, but he hasn't been a good producer. Like, being good all around apparently isn't good enough. He's a useful player, don't get me wrong, but he's not what I'm looking for. Canario doesn't interest me. Yandy Diaz is a no. Derby Ventura is not bad, but I don't like his lack of power, and he doesn't get on base consistently enough to make up for his lack of power. Spencer Horwitz is kind of interesting. Again, though, right? Like somebody said, I don't think it was last week or the week before. You need to check the stats. You can't just look at ratings, and none of these stats are that good. None of these players here show the kind of offensive capabilities that we need to think about. I'm trying to figure out who it was that actually said that. Maybe I saw it on Reddit actually. Like somebody said that they play stats only, and that was like, yeah, okay, well, fine. But yeah, the stats aren't there. If he's not performing at a high level, he's not worth my time. Kyle Manzardo. Eh, wow. I don't know if just as the league we're just not hitting, or the people that are hitting, we're just not giving them up, but it's kind of yikes. I cannot afford Willie Adames. I cannot afford that. Although he has been a consistent producer, I don't think that's a smart idea. I don't think it's smart to devote too much of my salary to him. I'm not saying that Nate Furman is the answer to my first base question, but what I am saying is he's actually not a bad player. He's got some second base and third base chops that makes him a bit more useful. He's got some batting eye. He's got decent contact. I'm willing to give him a chance, right? Like it's a fair chance. I'd like somebody more established, but I don't hate that. He's 27, which means there's still room for him to get better. Let's grab Nate Furman. I also want to try to get somebody else. What if I asked for Adames who'd give him to me? I'm going to ask you to eat a sizable percentage of his salary. What about all of it? No. What about 75% of it? If they will eat 80% of his salary, I think both players make sense to me. Let's see how that goes. No, you're wanting really, really good players in exchange, maybe? Actually, you'll take Jimenez. Done. Let me see if we can get him to take a bit more money. Like he is sucking mediocre prospects out of me. I think that's okay. I don't think it hurts me that much. Steven Martinez has some upside to him. I don't want to give him up. So you can have Walter Ford instead. There we go. Yeah, I'm not going to nickel and dime here. I think spending 80 million is reasonable. There we go. All right. Next up, I need to flag Jace Young as former Sox. Adames definitely gets to go up to the Major League roster. He's not worth what he's being paid by the Giants, but he is worth what I am paying him. And maybe in a better offensive environment, he can take off again. Maybe. Um, I am going to hold on to Furman in the minor leagues. Oh, do you put on the 40-man? That's fine. I'm going to put you in the minors, but you might be coming up very, very quickly. Oh, you have to clear options. All right. Let's sim a couple of days to see if my Meadroth goes on the DL. Adames is basically the same player against both bats, so I think he's going to start every day at first. I think feels decent. I think it seems Pritis gets even less playing time, but he shouldn't have whined about it, and then he might have more playing time. Yeah, Pritis DHing is fair. That's a fair ask, maybe. Or maybe not. I don't know. Yeah. Starlin Thompson, how are you doing? He's actually playing pretty well. So I think we let him keep his job for now. Um, I think he's hit well enough, and especially since... Oh, never mind. Yeah. I'm not going to bench Varys yet, but I'm very strongly considering it if his offense doesn't turn around here in the month of June. Let me simulate. You're going to miss 6 weeks. That's acceptable. Now we can call up Furman. Can Furman play third base? I think he can. He can. Yeah, he's not amazing at it, but he's good enough. He's definitely not leading off, though. That's a certainty. I don't have any really good on-base guys. I think that's what's holding us back. I mean, Kyle Teal is unironically one of my better on-base guys. I think he becomes my leadoff guy now. And then Mr. Nate Furman slots in and plays third base. Now we're even more left-handed. So the interesting problem is that because we don't have a good on-base guy, I think that's what's causing this lineup to really be subpar. If you go by on-base percentage, like, part-timers had the best on-base percentage on this team. So this has to change. We had to start seeing pitches better, we had to start getting on base more, and that'll drive the rest of this team. 100%. It's something we have to consider. We have to fix this problem. Maybe not this season. Maybe that's not possible. But probably next season. You'll be back in a day. That's fine. Let's combine some drafting, you know? Geno. Wait, what? There we go. Alright. I want to make sure we cover all the really high-quality hitters, because we still need elite offensive talent in this draft. Then we can flip around and look at pitchers, but I wanted to make sure that we cover hitters first. I will happily get some people here scouted. Alright, Steve Willis is apparently a bridge too far, no problem. We're going to simulate a day at a time until we get through the combine and see what kind of information we work out. He is scouting pretty effectively. I want to try to get at least to high on some of the more important ones. Trevor McGill is ready to come back. That's good for him. How's Roldy doing? Roldy's actually handling himself okay. I'm going to let McGill go ahead and rehab in the minors. 23 innings. He is getting better. Like, he is getting better, but he is also being destroyed. And the problem is his most ready replacement would be Jose Ferrer, who's also struggling. With the same issue, actually, he's also giving up home runs in bunches. Okay. Unironically, Dong Moon An is pitching extremely effectively. Although he's also giving up home runs. Okay, I get that my park is home run haven, but this has to stop, guys. Like, we have to start keeping the ball down, man. The Nard Dog is also... Everyone's giving up home runs. Okay. Well, fine. Except Gerald Rosado. I still think Jax's closer makes sense. Kinda. I think that's a position we can easily fill if we need to. I think Jose Ferrer needs to fucking pitch better. He is much more concerning to me. Jax's peripherals are actually still pretty good. He's not walking many hitters, striking them out at a good clip. He's having a bit worse luck with allowing hits, but his rate stats are about where they were last year, except for the home runs. That's the big difference. He's just getting creamed for some reason this year. I don't know why. I wish I could trust On. This is his first season getting lots more work, so I don't want to rush him, but I do think he's up for. You know what we could do? I could make it so we use him more often. An alternate, let's start using you a little bit less often. Let's rebalance the workload a bit and see how we work out there. Okay. Hmm. Can I get a Scooty Puff Jr.? Wait, what? Oh, that's right. It's not under here. Here it is. Okay. I have high accuracy on Antonio Hernandez. Let's drop him. And let's add Steve Gabriel here. Personal message. So here's my problem with you. You're being a bitch right now. Like, you're getting just. I really wish Hagen Smith would just grow up. So much potential. I need to move on from him. It's very clear he will never be successful in Chicago. And that opens up a spot for Ferrer. I guess that makes him happy. Who cares? I need him gone. Very clearly, I can't be trusted with him. I need to trade him for something interesting. Really? Nobody wants Hagen Smith. If he wasn't on my team, I would very strongly consider picking him up as the kind of player that we could potentially make something of. That is utterly flabbergasting. Is he set to untouchable, maybe? What if I set him to available? Maybe that was the issue. Maybe. Possibly. Yeah, this is so stupid. I cannot imagine that there is not a single team on Earth that wouldn't want Hagen Smith. I even added him to the former Sox list, but then didn't actually trade him. Maybe that's what. Maybe he's grumpy. Yeah, bro. You've got a shutout. I guess that's something. That was last year. My apologies. I don't think he's a good risk anymore. I truly don't. I'm not going to cut him. I feel like I'm bending over backwards to accommodate a pitcher who hasn't done anything in the bullpen, but maybe he'll be fine in the rotation. Hagen, my boy. You don't have it. You're not a major league pitcher. And the fact that nobody will give me anything for you really makes me grumpy about that. What if I customize my trade? players. Help me find a 50 potential hitter. All leagues. Search. Danny Bragg, let's start with you. If we offer you Hagen Smith, what does it look like? What? I just hit the fucking button for you to offer somebody. Oh, I can't trade for Danny Bragg. Why not? He's not recently drafted. Oh, that's the developmental league. I see. Okay. Well, fuck me then. I'm trying to find a player that's at least somewhat developed that we could maybe pick up. I would love to get Antonio Colon. If RP Hagen Smith. Wow. I despise the fact that Hagen Smith has become toxic. This feels like it's a bug, right? Like, this feels like a bug. I know how good that player is. Like, what if I pick a Wilmer Feliciano? Okay, this actually gets you to think about it. Okay, then maybe I just need to set my sights lower. Fine. Raymel Medina doesn't really interest me. Okay, I know what I'm looking for. I'm going to do this one at a time. I'm going to look at prospects. I'm going to try to find somebody who can get on base. Andy Baez. Okay player, decent power. I could get behind this if they're willing to give him up. I mean, Gibbs and Smith for Baez, who's just better. No, Baez is a really good defender. I need to keep him. Or Gibbs is a really good defender. I need to keep him. That's not going to work for me, dog. Sorry, bruh. Alright. Kevin Moore isn't totally hopeless, I guess. Yeah, this is the issue, right? The issue is that they see his statistical record and they're not willing to give up anything useful for him, which I certainly respect, but it does make it hard for me to move on from him. This is going to be crazy talk, right? I know this is the craziest of crazy towns. If I ask for a prospect package, but if I got like 3 shitty players, no. Okay, well, fuck. I feel like we had to pick a trade target and then offer Smith and see how close that gets us to a deal. So what do we want? What can we afford? So we look at all the hitters here. These are all mostly guys that aren't worth bothering with. Yeah, the kinds of guys that are presently available are the kinds of guys that should be presently available. I'm going to put Hagen Smith on the trading block. This doesn't solve my actual problem, which is dealing with whiny little bitches, but it's not impossible, right? Like it's not impossible that somebody will be interested in him. And if they're not, then I'll figure something else to do with him. I think for right now, actually, what I can do is to both make Smith and what if I just turn him into a reliever? Maybe it's better to get something out of him as a reliever than forcing him to be a starter when he can't handle it. Maybe. So if I do that, if I swap Ferrer and Smith, it's a bold move. Hagen Smith instantly improves his stuff. Let me make you a middle reliever and allow you to pitch in long relief as well. There we go. Our new setup guy, you know what? Let's give On an actual chance. Let's let him get the more important role and see where that gets us. Hagen Smith, I'm going to make you a specialist as a backup. I'm going to remove that role from On. All right. If nobody will give me anything for Hagen Smith, I have to do something to get creative. And if that means making him into a reliever, then we make him into a reliever. I don't know. I just know that he can't pitch well in the major leagues. And nobody wants to give him a chance besides me. So, yeah, that's where we are right now. Okay. Unless Teskey is amazing. Yeah, for whatever reason, only Noah Schultz gets along with him. I think we need to replace our pitching coach. He's clearly not getting through to people. Who's the other guy that's up? Is it the bench coach? Yeah, Mr. Bourgeois, you can stick around. You I like. But yeah, not gonna bother with bringing him back. We've never been great at pitching, and it doesn't seem to be getting any better. So I think we have to move on from him as a way to try to like kickstart the pitching stuff. I recognize we haven't given him a ton of talent to work with. The talent just isn't there to be had. Um, which is a thing that we need to consider. Jaden Charles is a 52 overall. I cannot keep him in the minors any longer. I cannot do that. I cannot allow that to happen. The thing is, none of my starters are immediately replaceable except for maybe Patrick Sandoval. Unless it's Ferrer. Maybe I just get rid of Ferrer. Maybe I accept the fact he's going to be a whiny little bitch no matter what happens, and I just get rid of him. Maybe that's what happens here. Because I am damn sure not letting a whiny little shithead block the best pitcher in the minor leagues. If somebody wants Ferrer, they're welcome to him. Hey, we're getting offers for him, I guess. I'm trying to find. Ooh, Frelly Encarnacion is kind of nice. Well, hell, maybe I can get a prospect package for him. Lazaro Montes is pretty decent, actually. And Blaine Brown's got the decent skills. He's not perfect. I don't like how low his velocity is, but he's a definite possibility. This is an okay package. I do like the cut of his jib. Pueo isn't anything special. Cruz has good character, but doesn't seem to have a very good future. Yeah, I don't know. Ryan Martin's not that good. I mean, I don't know why we don't think this is fair. I think Caden Scarborough is pretty solid. Like, I acknowledge that Rucker is nothing special. Like, he's an average hitter with some defensive chops. And Guillen is just there. Like, whatever. I kind of like this package, if not for the fact that I think there's a better one. So here's the difference here. Encarnacion has the potential to be a starting first baseman. He's good defensively. He's got some pretty solid offensive skills. He hasn't hit in the majors yet, but he does have a pretty good track record in the minor leagues. So this is a consideration. The other is this one. The other is Montez. Montez is a little bit more expensive. He's already in arbitration land and has never produced at the major league level. Oh, he's had multiple opportunities to be a good quality player. I think we take Encarnacion. I think this is the deal that we accept. I'm going to see if I can't get greedy and get another prospect out of this. But I like the start to this deal. What about if that's Andre Serrano? You laugh in my face. That's a reasonable take. Benitez? Interesting. Benitez has eventually be a really, really good pitcher. I am happy to add him to our team. Easy choice. Easy choice. Max English is a capable third baseman who's just not a fantastic hitter. Can I get Max English? No. Max English is a bridge too far. Understood. How dare I ask for Johnny English's younger brother? Zabrudel is fine. I'm going for quantity right now. I'm not necessarily going for quality, but I am going for quantity. Because there's a chance that one of them will work out. Maybe. But Justin Stewart. Martin Beto. I mean, I'll just keep throwing people on here till you tell me I can't have them anymore. Did they remove the maximum player count from a deal? If true, that's pretty great. Ooh, you don't want to give up your bonus room. Alright. You know what? I'm getting 6 players for this deal. I think I just take the deal as it is. I think this is fine. I'm not saying that that's a team that's something that's going to like win us the World Series or anything, but I think it's reasonable. Frelly is right-handed. Does anyone want Isaac Paredes? Probably not, but we can ask. Nope. That's fine. I will simply try to get him through waivers, and if somebody claims him, they claim him. Is Nate Furman left-handed? He is. And he really struggles against left-handed pitching. I think this is a platoon made in heaven. Let's make it happen. Done. Alright, we also have a spot on the rotation, and we're calling up Jaden Charles. He's too fucking good not to be given an opportunity to major league level at this stage. He's too good. Yeah. He has one real issue, which is his changeup. If his changeup improves even a little bit, he's already a special talent. Like, not to shit on Noah Schultz, he's more talented than Noah Schultz. Maybe this is something that puts a spark in our team. Maybe. I feel like I'm rushing Charles, but I also feel like he's earning it. Like, I feel like he's just pitching that well. That he forced the issue. And that's exactly what you want a player to do, right? You want them to be like, you will start me whether you like it or not. I don't literally say that, but can Chris Ransford actually play third base unironically? He can handle it, sort of. Maybe? He's not a terrible third baseman. That could be a path forward for him. Maybe? I mean, I guess I can flag Ferrer here for fun. I want to put Jaden Charles on my list here. Okay, his major league debut went pretty well, but he looks like he got pulled pretty early. Did he hit his pitch count? He did. He had 87 pitches that pulled him out of the game. That's fine, actually. It is more important to me that he's good for a long time than that he's good right this second. Okay. Well, I hate having to constantly cycle out outfielders. I hate that no outfielder can give me a good performance year in and year out. That drives me up the fucking wall. But it's the reality we're living with, right? Where'd he go? Oh, don't tell me. Zavala, you maniac. I was going to call you up. It's going to be your chance to shine, and now you can't. I think Diaz is fine, I suppose. We can give him a shot anyway. What is happening this year? Is it worth sticking it out with him? What has changed about your profile? Besides the fact you're making no contact whatsoever. I mean, your BABIP is in the toilet. Your strikeouts have gone way up. Your walks are about the same. Yeah, you're pushing, I think. You're pushing. I need to try something new in left field. That's probably not Sterling Thompson. That's probably not how we fix this, but I can't keep playing Varys when he's this bad. I need him. I'm going to send him to the minor leagues to get right. That's the first thing that I'm going to do. The second thing I'm going to do is I'm going to find a replacement outfielder. Kadeem Diat has been productive in the minor leagues. I'm going to try something really nuts. I'm going to call up Diat. I'm actually going to start Sterling Thompson. Because why the fuck not? I'm gonna let Nate. Yeah, I'm just throwing shit at the wall to see if it sticks. Actually, Willie Adamas is maybe a better choice to hit third. And then, I'm gonna play Sterling Thompson here. I want Veros to figure it out. I really do. But until he does, I can do better. Even if that's just leading on the guy who's already hitting okay and seeing how he turns out. Yeah. Let's advance time up to the draft. This is another lost season, which is really what I was not hoping for. Pretus, will you accept a demotion to the minor leagues? You won't. Then I guess you get released. Okay. Chase Meadroth, I think you're getting traded. I know we need the skills he provides. I know we need a top tier on base guy. The thing is, between Encarnacion and Furman, I think we have roughly his level of production, and Meadroth is having one of the worst years of his career. So I'm going to try to trade him. It's going to make the fans mad, but it's the right choice. Hey, can I get that one package that was offered to me earlier? Can I get a green and two yellows? Or... Ooh, hello. Hello. Eleazar Dishmi, huh? I don't love the velocity, but everything else about you screams high-quality pitcher. This is a definite maybe, and Manny Rodriguez isn't too bad in his own right. I'm going to come back to this offer, but we might have already found the offer that I'm going to accept. I don't hate adding Lazaro Montes. And Kyle Kurt has a lot of positional flexibility. This is also a decent deal. What I like about Montes is he could start right away if we wanted to. Salvador Lopez is okay. I like Caden Scarborough. I think he's got a nice arm on him. Eli Pitts can hang at center, which is always a good thing to have. This deal is also pretty good. So here's the thing. The single best person being offered is Eleazar Dishme. But man, this is two starting caliber prospects. And I don't think I can ignore that. I don't think that's something I'm capable of ignoring. I'm going to make the trade. Done. Scarborough thinks he can start. I mean, he's free to try, but he's going to try in AAA first. All right. I feel a little bad about losing Meadroth. I feel like there's maybe another level to his game that if maybe I just given him a little bit more time, he would have unlocked it. But you can't wait forever, right? And he was that bad. He was that bad. Kyle Teal really should not be our leadoff hitter, but I don't have a better choice right now. I need a genuine leadoff hitter. I think that is by far the most important thing we need to start scoring runs. That guy, you say Meadroth, but that clearly isn't happening this year. Let's sim up to the draft. This has been a long episode, but a good one, I think. Are any of my relievers badly struggling? I mean, Roldy Munoz isn't pitching great, but he's already 29. I think if we don't give him a chance now, he'll never get one, and maybe that's the answer. Maybe he's just not going to get a chance anymore. Then maybe I do go ahead and send him down and bring McGill back. It seems unfair, though, doesn't it? Maybe it's not unfair. Maybe it is the fairest thing. We can let McGill have a spot in the bullpen again. And let's use the Nard dog more often. Let's get him working. Griffin Jax has improved significantly. Significantly. I know he's still not amazing, but he has gotten quite a bit better. I'm still not going to keep him. But he is getting better. Aww. Alright, we're picking 8th overall. That's fine and dandy, like chocolate candy. Alright. Houston Potter. Potter is a really good all-around player with good makeup, but he's not a shortstop. He's a good third baseman, but he's not a shortstop. That's not the end of the world. Potter is definitely a possibility. A possibility, if you like. John Camp has really great hitting tools. He's an okay second baseman. He's an okay left fielder. But he's also riskier. Because he strikes out so much, there's a chance he doesn't learn how to hit consistently in the major leagues, and then we end up with an inefficient player. There's also Burl Manischewitz here, who looks like he's quite close to the major leagues already. He's already 21. He's got 3 really good pitches, great stamina. He's pretty smart. Another lefty. Here's the thing. I need an injection of offensive talent pretty desperately. Otherwise, Manischewitz would be my pick. So it comes down to, do I want Potter or do I want Camp? I guess I could look at Fitzsimmons, too. Fitzsimmons is decent, but he has no defensive chops whatsoever. Neither one of them have great batting eyes. Each of them has enough raw power and ability to make hard contact with the ball that I don't think that's a deal breaker. Camp is a little bit better at getting on base. He's got good speed. He's also farther away from the major leagues. I feel like Potter is probably the guy that I should be drafting. I feel like he's the kind of guy that is more useful to the club in the long term. So I think that's what I do. I don't feel great about it. But I think it's a reasonable decision. I hope we get lucky and get another great player in the second round. Wait, what happened here? I didn't take somebody in the second round. I only drafted a first round guy. Oh, this is my supplemental pick. I see. Oh, this is what the mock draft says. Okay, this is my supplemental first round pick. Okay. You're too flawed. This is a bright green. This is the reddest of red flags. I like a lot about him, though. I let Joey Volch go. He's good adaptability. He's smart. He doesn't work as hard as you might like, but he's got good peripherals here, and he's got some nice pick selection. I think Vochko is the guy that I meant to take, but I will look at some of these other guys here. Andy Gugnon. He's just a solid hitter. Doesn't do anything too special, doesn't do anything too poorly. He's just a really solid hitter. We like Bobby Harper, huh? Harper is way down the list. What do we like so much about Bobby Harper? Nothing really. Um, Chris Quintela is fine. He's got an acceptable bat. He's got an acceptable glove. He has the height of acceptability, but I think acceptability is what I'm looking for. Scott Self is fine. Again, not looking for fine. I think we take Volchko. And do I take Kevin Davis? Is actually the real question here. He has an obvious flaw, but he's such a phenomenal talent and he's willing to work really hard at it. And I do want a dominating closer at some stage. I want a closer I can just throw in the ninth inning, utterly dominates. Now, you can't really trust high school numbers because he's playing against some competition, but he faced average competition. I think he's a reach. I genuinely think that Kevin Davis is a reach, but I think he's what we're looking for. So I think we meet his demand and we call it good. And I still get a great player. That's what I was hoping for. That's exactly what I was hoping for. So, yeah. Let's get after it. I think Volchko is the pick. Wait. He's 24 years old and is... Oh, he's in college. Wait, I'm confused. How can you be a high school senior that has 5 years in college? What? What? Huh? I don't get it. So you're eligible from college, but you're a high school senior. Did you like fail out of college and it sent you back to high school? I mean, he's 24, so he should develop quickly, I suppose. I guess that's worthy of a draft pick. What a weird guy, right? Okay. I know I just got this saying I don't think Chris Quintella is anything too special. I think for the level of the draft we are now, I think he's very much worthwhile. Very, very much taken. All right, we want to get us some Eric Epperly. He's a first baseman with average power. I don't know how that translates into being a great major league regular. Nick Cote is... the physical tools are here. He's got the potential to be a good catcher, but he also has a really shitty personality. I am concerned that he won't develop because of his shitty personality. Blake McGinnis. Fine. Maybe we take a chance on elite physical tools and see where that gets us, right? Maybe that's the play here. Sure. I think I take Epperly too. I do think Epperly is worthy of a draft pick. All right, Tommy Holland is not a very good catcher. All right, Caden Leone. I think you, my friend, are an acceptable pitcher. I mean, Blake McGinnis is a decent choice too. Yeah, let's take him actually instead. I knew Caden would fall. We like Devin West, huh? I don't like Devin West. I don't like him at all. Edwin Aragon. You're a man that knows what you like. This is deeply concerning to me that in the draft league you basically vanished. But you are 22, so you should look better than this. And you faced really bad competition. I think maybe we don't take Edwin Aragon. We like Lucas Kennedy, huh? He's alright, I guess. He did face great competition and play reasonably well. Like, he's not like the toppest of top tier hitters, but he was at least productive in college. I'm willing to give that a try. Devin West keeps slipping. I'm still not convinced he's worth taking. I'm still not convinced there's anything there that's interesting. Trevor Hanson is the kind of pitcher that I love because he's the kind of pitcher where he's one or two small tweaks away from being a really great pitcher, but GNC falls pretty far. He sounds like he's 24 years old and yet is somehow in high school, college. Whatever it is, I will draft him. 100%. Let's do a sort of a list and let's try to get those traits we're looking for. Let's try to get somebody who's got an amazing eye. At no point did I ever say I wanted all pitchers, so don't be stupid. I don't know why he's rated so poorly, unless it's just the fact he's a terrible fielder and he has no ability to. I guess he does strike out a lot, doesn't he? How about Vitslav Niradka? We can try it. I need this on base skill, right? I need it to be a thing. I don't know why Bristol Carter's only rated a 39. I will happily draft him at this point. Happily. All right. Let's look for pitching stuff. Okay, Steven is actually a genuine two-way player who's not an embarrassment in the infield. Let's take Steve here. He's the Steviest. No! You bastards! He could have been mine, you guys. He could have been mine. Chris Diaz is pretty decent. We can give him a shot. Let me look at pitchers now. Let's not just take position players who might be decent at it. I mean, Quinn Larson is an obvious selection here. We will take that, make that happen. 14th round. Taking a flyer on a guy like John Rodriguez is something I'm interested in doing. Again, I know that it's not a guarantee, but I think the payoff is reasonably high. if he turns out the way we think he might. Tate McGuire, welcome to the team. Another 24-year-old who is somehow mysteriously in high school. We got a 25-year-old here, man. Let's switch back to hitters, and let's try to get some diamonds in the rough. Let's find the batting eye guys. Carson Bale, I think you're worthy of an opportunity. I think it is a reasonable ask for you to play in my team. I'm not saying you're anything special, but I'm willing to give the opportunity to you. Travis Morgan, sure, why not? Do we have any raw thumpers? We got Daniel Stackpole. We can make that happen. We got Colin Barchi. We've got Jerry Kelly. I like Jerry Kelly quite a lot. And then let's get our defense guy. We'd like to get one defense guy every draft. We've got some good ones here. Andrew Duncan is a no-doubt center fielder. But he's apparently an asshole. Maybe we don't do that then. Or maybe we do. Maybe I do want to be a french fry. I mean, Jake Kulikowski is almost as good. He's just a bit of a pigeon head. I think we go ahead and take Alejandro Kovas instead. No, we'll take Duncan. His athletic gifts are good enough that even if he's not, the cream of the crop, I still think he's a good player. Potentially. Maybe. Alright, Houston Potter, get on my draft picks list. All of you get to join my draft picks list. It's an exclusive list. Sort of. I am concerned that we're running out of time. That eventually the owner is just going to be like, fuck you and the horse you rode in on. That's why I wanted to make the playoffs this year if we could have managed it. It's not going to happen, clearly, but it would have been cool if it did. Who was the singular White Sox? It was Luke Geske of all players. Okay, well, that's reasonable. And Ito. We had 2 All-Stars this year. Oh my. I don't want to, get to my head. Yeah. Cool. I bet Ito's pissed off he's playing on a shitty team, but you gotta do what you gotta do, right? To make that Moone. Ito's only gonna be out for a week. I don't see any real reason to mess with the roster. I'll say Isaac Paredes turned himself to a pitch and then threw a fucking no-hitter. That's funny. But no, that's not what's happening at all. A trade proposal. You really want Samuel Zavala. Bryce Elder isn't anything special. Foster doesn't really do anything for me to just Ron Romero. I'd rather keep Zavala at this point, given that he has the one skill that we desperately need the most. How is Sterling Thompson doing, by the way? Not great. Okay, if Thompson is healthy, we have to try him. Or Zavala is healthy, which he is. We have to give him a shot. So a shot is what he shall have. Welcome to the big leagues, Samuel Zavala. You could be the answer to our prayers in one way or the other. In fact, I'm gonna push you. Zavala, I need you to be a leadoff guy. I need you to do that for me, please. Meh, I don't think so. I don't want to give up Fluelling. Oh, actually, no, they actually both suck. There's really no downside to this, is there? I mean, he's better than Dial, that's for sure. You know what? I like the cut of your jib. I think this is a decent offer. Let's pull the trigger on it. I do want to shortlist Shane Smith. I want to see how he does. Llewellyn is a lost cause. For a guy that he took was a second round pick, he just never developed at all. So good luck to you, my friend. Oh, I can't put him on the 40-man, can I? Dominic Fletcher, goodbye. Does Ledbetter start over Jose Ramos? I think Ramos is actually playing well enough. I mean, we probably could do a little bit better than him, but I think right now he's playing well enough. Do we start him at center field and send Bautista down to the minor leagues? I think that might be a smart idea. Yeah, if that's the case, I'm going to keep Diot and I'm going to send down Bautista. I think this is a better choice, and it's going to help us in the long term. So, Mr. Ledbetter, you're going to play center field for us. And then I'm going to go ahead and rebuild my depth chart here. There we go. Cool. Up to the train deadline. Clark Schmidt is of no interest to me. Not even a little bit of interest. Bo Brieske is nothing interesting to me. Ruiz is actually decent. Ruiz is somebody I could get excited about. Jose Fernandez is a trap. He's a guy that superficially has a decent potential because he's so good at not striking out, but that's his only skill. I don't think this makes sense to me. I don't think it is a sensible trade. All right. Important question. Is there anybody on our roster whose salary is up at the end of the year that we might want to try to trade for a decent draft pick? Nobody's going to want these guys, right? Like, nobody's going to want Bernie Martinez, I don't think. Maybe they do. Maybe there's this giant market for Bernie Martinez that just never tapped. Mm-mm. All right, I'm going to start rejecting stuff up and down the lineup here. I mean, Hagen Smith is available trade. Oh, wait a minute. I'm not going to take a really old veteran. I don't think that's where we are at this point. Like, we're not one player away, unless that one player is a genuine top tier frontline bat. And that kind of player just isn't being offered to us. Which is completely fine, right? Like, that's fine. But it is the thing that I would be willing to trade for, and that kind of player just isn't being offered out. Which is probably smart. I don't really see any benefit to fucking around with any of you guys. I mean, Kate Smith's pretty good. A world where we acquire Cade Smith to strengthen out the bullpen and we give him another contract is a decent world, actually. What would that cost me? How badly do you want to go to Cade Smith? Pretty badly, actually. You can have Elijah McFadder. Yeah. I wasn't even trying to get an achievement that way, but I'll take it. Who's now the worst reliever in the pen? Nardog's actually pitching quite well. It's Alter Matt. And Cade Smith gets... Oh, I gotta make room for him too, don't I? Okay. I don't think Bryce Matthews has much of a career at this point. I think he is what he is. So I think we designate him for assignment. Does Cade Smith instantly become the closer? I think he does. I think Griffin Jack's at every opportunity, and he has failed at them miserably. Cade Smith, get in there. Also, buddy, I'd like to offer you a contract extension. He wants a lot of money. We've needed a reliable closer for so long, and he's been a great one every step of the way. This is the exact kind of person I am willing to spend a little bit of money on. Yeah, let's do this. Let's offer him a 3-year contract extension. I feel good about that. I'm not saying it makes that big a difference, but I'm saying it does get us something we desperately need. So, unless Omar Victorino is amazing, which he's not, I'm not going to give you Jose Ramos. Ooh, don't do that. Just go to the next sim, please. Nobody wants Hagen Smith. Damn. I'm not giving you Zavala either. Zavala might be medium bulletproof because he does have that one skill that we so desperately need. Piguero is nothing good. LaMontagne is actually pretty good. But the thing is, Brooks Bannon might actually be important. Like, there's definitely a world where he has a big role on this team. I would do Nunez for LaMontagne. Wait, I can't remove people. What? Oh, okay, that's why. I can't adjust the deal. I see. Okay. Well, fuck that then. Alright. I don't even care that much about McFadder. I don't think he's got much going for him. I need Varys to find his stroke in the minor leagues. I think he's too good a hitter to be trapped there, but I also think that we just need to consider moving on from him if that's where we are. Gino. Jaden Charles is pitching pretty well. Like, I know his numbers don't look particularly sexy, but the peripherals are there. Like, he's striking fools out at a very high rate. There's obviously still room for him to work in the major leagues, but he's barely scratched the surface of his full talent. I think he could be an amazing asset. Samuel Zavala is struggling. He is drawing plenty of walks. He's just got to put the rest of his game in position. Nate Furman has genuinely been a fairly nice find. Like, quite genuinely. He's actually turned out to be a pretty handy addition to this team. So, we can get excited about that. No. Enjoy being a former Sock, Bryce Matthews. Do I have any chance hell making the postseason? No, right? And Kate Smith took a new contract, which is great. Dominic Fletcher clears waivers, which is great. Actually, I don't care about that. If Dominic Smith had been taken by somebody else, I wouldn't have cared. I feel like the poor White Sox fans have endured some pretty bad teams over the years. This isn't one of those really bad teams, but it's definitely the kind of team that isn't consistent. Um, it's not a playoff team, that's for sure. We need better hitting, pretty desperately. We need a consistent offense that delivers runs when we need them. That is by far the most important thing that we need. We need Hagen Smith to not be a little bitch. Bautista's doing well. It's nice to see that. With rosters expanded, the question becomes, has Wilfred Veras learned his lesson? Let's find out. Did Jaden Charles get rookie? What's Abel Fuerte? Who the hell even is this guy? Oh, you took him in the Rule 5 draft. Damn. Well, here we are then. How is Veras handling the minors? Okay, Veras is pretty much crushing AAA ball. Especially because Zavala is struggling fairly mightily. I think we go ahead and bring Veras back to the major leagues. I think that's a thing that we should do. How's Bautista doing in the minors? He's not killing it, but he's playing well enough that I think letting him finish the season there is reasonable. I think we also go ahead and add Randall Clemente and let him do some back of the bullpen work. All right. Lineups. I think we put Veras right back in the lineup. I think he's learned his lesson, and his lesson is hit better. He's not a leadoff guy, but I don't know who on this team is a leadoff guy, genuinely. In all reality, it's not Willie Adames who would have been my first choice. My first thought. Fraley Encarnacion can do it. Nate Furman can do it. I'm also deliberately not hitting him third. I'm letting him at lower in the lineup where he'll have a little bit more protection, but also so he'll get a little bit more protection, and see if that helps him spark a good end of the season. Because he is pretty important to me. He's a pretty important piece of this puzzle. And while I think Zavala has important skills that we need too, I think he's also doesn't have the production track record to tell me that he'll actually pull it off. And we've been eliminated from the postseason. That's whatever. A personal message. Some people are retiring. Nobody I care about, really. Not truly. I mean, we didn't lose 90 games. That counts for something, I suppose. Ito was the third best hitter in the American League. That's pretty cool. Luke Geske genuinely looks like a star and looks like the kind of guy that's going to win our third consecutive Rookie of the Year. Which is amazing for an 18th round draft pick. Truly amazing. We're just going to end the postseason because I don't care. Can we stop Baltimore's reign of terror? That would be nice. Haha, fuck you, Baltimore. Right in the ear. Oh, I don't want to sim to the end of the month. I want to sim to the end of the postseason. My apologies. Herman Marquez is retiring. That's fair. Okay. Oakley Dokley Smokely. It's the Angels, and the Brewers beat the shit out of them. You know what? Good for Milwaukee. I remember when I was in the postseason. This is an interesting episode. It took a lot longer than I thought it would. We made a ton of decisions during the season. What do we have to look forward to? What were some of the nice developments that we had? By far and away, Jaden Charles is proving to be a pretty great pitcher. Um, to get almost 3 WAR in less than 100 innings is insane. This kid is for reals, yo. And I love it. Let's look at the team as a whole now. I want to bask in the reflected glory of what my team did manage to accomplish. Okay, Atsuji Ito, amazing player. He kept his offensive production right about the same. He wasn't appreciably better, wasn't appreciably worse. He had a few more homers. His power was slightly better. He was an okay second baseman, but not ideal. But he did improve his zone rating over the course of the season. I wish he made fewer errors, but this is okay. Kyle Teal is rapidly becoming like the unsung hero of this team. He's never one of the best at his position, but he is consistently good. And I think that consistency is something these youngsters can learn from. Jose Ramos was a nice little find for us. We gave him opportunity, and he ran with it. He had a pretty solid season. He will not replicate this season. I don't think. Maybe I'm wrong, but I don't think he's a great risk for that. Willie Adames stabilized our lineup, giving us a veteran hand who knew what he was doing for the most part. Also, he cost me basically no money, which is nice. Mr. Tibbs is a constant frustration and confusion to me. I genuinely don't know why he isn't like that 10% better to make him one of the best in the league. Maybe just gotta trust him. Maybe just gotta keep letting him keep at it and get where he needs to get. But he should be better than this. And I don't think it's unreasonable to ask for more from him than that. Colton Ledbetter had a phenomenal season with Chicago. I think it is worthy of him to be a starting center fielder next year. And let Vasquez continue to develop in the minor leagues. He's not a great center fielder, so maybe it's not a permanent solution, but I think for now, he stabilizes things a little bit. Nate Furman, a nice discovery. A nice discovery. I don't think we lose much of anything by having replaced Meadroff. He's not a great third baseman, so again, defensively, we could be stronger. But I think he's okay. Brito was decent. The problem with Arteaga is even if he has gold glove caliber defense, his portfolio offensively is just going to be really suspect from year to year. And that's going to either make him one of the best in the league or an afterthought. We strike out a lot as a team, like a shit ton. I know Wilfred Veras ended the season on a pretty rough note, but how did he do in his last few games? Did the time in AAA do him good? I mean, he pushed his season average up a few points, which is nice. He had some good games. So, Maybe he needs less pressure, but maybe we also still just need to keep working on this lineup and getting it to a point where it can be a productive one. I think that is something we need to keep working at. Okay. This pitching staff took a meteoric leap forward. Luke Gasky just casually put in almost 200 innings of all-star quality pitching. As many high-profile decisions I've made that haven't worked out, for an 18th round draft pick to come in as an all-star his first year in the major leagues is pretty incredible. And there's still more here, right? There's still more here. An amazing season. Jaden Charles, 90 innings, almost 3 wins. Better than an ace who pitched 190 innings. One thing I'll say about this rotation, it was very, very solid. I don't think we'd replace the starter more than once or twice. Cade Smith should be the arm in the bullpen we've been desperate for. Griffith Jacks wasn't actually that bad. Higgins Smith, bro. I don't know, bro. I don't know. There's still another gear for a lot of our starters. Maybe not Patrick Sandoval. Patrick Sandoval, you know what? When we signed him as a free agent, I was thinking we're getting hosed. And we actually got some good production out of him. He was a stabilizing influence, a valuable pitcher. I'm not bringing him back. I think that would be silly. But I appreciate his service. I do appreciate his service. My market size has gotten smaller. The White Sox are so bad that we've shrunk the city of Chicago. You know what? That's fair. So here's my question to myself. Is Griffin Jacks better than he looked? And I think the answer is yes. ERA is a weird thing, right? All it takes is a couple of bad games and you look really, really bad. If we take a look at his pitching stats, his Agame log, the guy gave up 5 runs in 2 innings. Not even a full inning. He gave up 5 runs. And they spent the rest of the season trying to bounce back from that. He also had other shitty outings. The one reason I'm thinking about voiding his contract is he actually has lost stability here. Like, his scouting is dropping. And he is 34. I feel like keeping him just for the sake of keeping him is... What does his FIP look like? I'm going to let your FIP decide your fate. Where is Fippity Doodah? Fippity Doodah, Fippity, yeah. Yeah, it looks like the defense maybe we fucked him a little bit. Probably. Probably bringing him back for one more season isn't a terrible idea. I'm not that desperate for money, and I do think we might be able to maybe flip him. So I think bringing him back for one final year is reasonable. Jaden Charles, no longer one of the best prospects in the game. How do I think the season went? I think we learned a lot about this team. I said that last year too, but I think we did learn a lot about this team. Um, I think we have some genuine keepers in this lineup. The problem is I don't know which ones are definitely keepers. Tibbs is good. Ito is great. Adames is a good veteran to help us with our team. Ramos offered a ton of power late in the lineup. Power wasn't our issue, it was getting on base. We need a great leadoff guy to trigger the rest of the lineup. This rotation has the potential to be one of the best in the American League. We are losing Patrick Sandoval, but that just means more opportunities for youngsters. I think there is so much to love about this rotation. Cade Smith, low key, should help our bullpen tremendously. This gives us a top tier closer who's always produced in the major leagues to step up to the plate and get us out of jams. We'll start winning close games, I think, a little bit more. How did we do in close games this season? In Uno Run Gamos, we were 21-28. We had a plus 16 run differential. We should have been 83-79 this year, it looks like. Maybe we need to fix the defense. I don't know. The problem is all of my bad defenders are also the ones who are the ones that are offering any offensive hope. So, yikes. We got a lot of work to do in the offseason. I say that every year, but it's always true. We got a lot of work to do. We have to make a lineup that produces consistently. We can't let this pitching staff down. And that also probably means upgrading the defense where the opportunity presents itself. If we're talking people guaranteed a job on next year's team, Ito, Adames, probably Tibbs, definitely Teal, and probably Ramos. I think Ledbetter's got a pretty great chance to be on the Major League roster and have a big impact. Yeah. Wilfred Veras, honestly, him sucking this year did a lot to hurt this team. I'm hoping it was just a fluke, and that his time in AAA and his improvement toward the end of the season means he's going to come back next year bigger and better than ever. Failing that, I hope that Samuel Zavala can establish a claim to a Major League lineup spot. His skill set is desperately needed. If we can get him to draw walks at a ridiculous clip and offer any other skills whatsoever, I think he's a great choice. Salvador Lopez is going to be kicking down the door here in the near future. Probably not right away. And he hasn't really dominated in the high minors, so we're definitely going to keep an eye on him. But he's definitely got loads of potential. If Arteaga can't start hitting, I think Josh Gibbs has an opportunity to take his job. But Josh Gibbs is actually a better shortstop than Arteaga. I have no reason to keep Arteaga. Yeah. Does anybody want him? This will be my last thing. Okay, we are getting some people that are interested in him, which is great. Okay. Tyler Victoria is low-key a pretty great relief prospect. Let me take Tyler Victoria. Complete trade. Before anything else happens this year, Josh Gibbs, welcome to the Major Leagues. Yeah. I mean, you're better at the one thing that Arteaga was good at, and you can also potentially be a decent hitter, and you had a pretty good year in the minor leagues. I think that calls for being promoted. I truly believe that to be the case. Ruben Galindo has a non-zero chance of making the rotation next year. Um, I think Ronnie Stratton has an equally great chance to make it. I think there's a lot of guys who are going to get a lot of chances in the in spring training. Um, I'm going to need to clear some room though. I definitely need to clear some room so that we have the ability to call people up, do whatever it is that we want to do. Who's Eli Pitts? Or are you a guy that I just acquired? Oh, you're somebody that I got when I traded Chase Meadroth. Go to the minors, bro. I don't know what you're asking for. Um, yeah. Cool. Um, let me start clearing roster spots. This feels like a good start. I'm also going to include John Cabrera. And if they get to stay, then great. But I think we designate them for assignment. I want lots of 40-man spots because I have a lot of people here that need to be kept. We're gonna do Benitez, Stratton. I mean, Abernethy has a chance to not be terrible under the right circumstances. Galindo. And I think we stop there for the moment and then see what happens with the rest of the crew. Josiah Hartshorn should probably also be kept. Well, we'll see what happens. Some people might get non-tendered, which will open up roster spots too. But until next time, my friends, this has been Guardian. I hope you enjoyed the episode. If you did, please remember to like and subscribe. Comment down below. And until next time, I bid you good day.